This video is sponsored by Squarespace.
Hey everyone, I'm ACEOFCLAY. I'm a sculptor, and every week I make a new sculpture. Today, after a long break, I am sculpting another creepypasta. This time, it is Clockwork. Now, Clockwork is not your typical creepypasta story. Her life was a mess before she became what she is now. After a brutal past and a botched surgery that left her hearing the ticking of a clock in her own head, she snapped, becoming a cold, calculated killer with one mission: to make sure everyone's time runs out. She's a super interesting character, and I really hope you enjoy watching the process of me making her. And before we get started, don't forget to check out ACEOFCLAY.com to see all of the sculpting supplies I sell. We've got my best-selling Sculpt Like a Monster mat, the Super Poker, my wooden sculpture bases with or without pre-drilled holes, 10 and 16 gauge armature wire, clay rollers, cutting blades, and more. So again, check out ACEOFCLAY.com before you start your next masterpiece. And now, without further ado, let's sculpt Clockwork.
Alright, let's get started. I've got my wooden base here with pre-drilled holes, and this is Sticky Bones. It is a fully posable figurine that's going to help us get our proportions right on our sculpt and help us figure out a good pose. You can get your own at stickybones.com and save 10% with my code ACEOFCLAY. Or you can go through my link in the description box. Alright, now let's make Clockwork's armature. I've got my 10 gauge wire here, and I'm connecting both sides together with some 16 gauge, and then we're going to bulk out her torso with some ultralight. Once the bulking phase is complete, it's time to bake her. Now I'm going to grab Sticky Bones again and figure out her pose. It's not going to be anything too crazy, but this figure is going to give us a great reference point. You can do some really wild poses with the Posenado stand, which is the Lazy Susan you just saw, and the fly rig that'll have them like up in the air. But anyway, alright, we got our simple pose figured out. Let's apply that to our armature here and then start covering everything in clay. Once her torso is covered, it's time to work on her legs after we brush on some Bacon Bond. And to turn these leg noodles into pants, we are going to add some folds and wrinkles with some tiny snakes of clay, and I'm blending them with my Super Poker. Now we're going to work on her chest and add some folds and wrinkles where the shirt will be. I'm finishing off the bottom of the shirt with this flattened snake of clay, and I'm blending the top edge in with my spoon tool. And yes, the spoon tool is coming soon. It's actually officially in production. After getting all the clay added to create the top of her tank top, we're going to blend everything together with our spoon tool and of course add some more folds and wrinkles. And once that's done, we're going to make our hoodie out of cos clay, starting with the back part right here and then each side in the front. And before we go any further, we need to attach her neck. This would have been much easier had I done it before I added the tank top. Now let's add some fur around the sweater collar. And we're going to texture it up with our Super Poker. After a couple touch-ups, it's time to start working on her shoes. She's going to be wearing white sneakers. To finish off our hoodie, we're going to add some pockets and some seams with the Super Poker as well. Now let's texture her jeans with some Bacon Bond mixed with clay softener. Just going to dab it onto the surface so it gives it that nice denim texture. Now we're going to set the body aside and start working on her head. I'm covering this ball of aluminum foil in some Super Sculpey Living Doll, and we're going to start carving out her features. I'm going to start by sculpting a simple face. Now I'm adding her nose. One side of her face will be normal and the other side will be deformed, and her eye will be a clock embedded in her head. Using my spoon tool, we're going to further shape out her eye. Her good eye.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break from our video to talk about our sponsor, Squarespace. Now, I have been using Squarespace for almost 6 years now, even before they started sponsoring me, and I could not be happier with my experience. When you have a business like me or a portfolio, you've gotta have a website, and Squarespace takes all of the guesswork out when it comes to building one. It's easy, straightforward, the options are virtually endless, and they give you all the tools you need to succeed. I love the flexible website templates. I'm honestly updating my website at least once a week, and it could not be easier. All of the templates are professionally designed and have options for every use and category. You can customize your look, effortlessly update content, and add all the features to fit your needs. You can transform any template into your own to really stand out online or on any device. I also love how easy it is to have an online store with them. I can beautifully showcase all of my products so they stand out with images, videos, reviews, related products, add-ons, and more. The Squarespace commerce platform makes managing everything from inventory to sales and customers simple. You can even print shipping labels through Squarespace like I do to save time while fulfilling orders. And just recently, they've introduced Design Intelligence. This combines 2 decades of industry-leading design with cutting-edge AI technology to unlock your strongest creative potential. So what are you waiting for? Don't put off making that website any longer. Trust me when I tell you, Squarespace will have your back every step of the way. And you won't believe how easy it is to do, and it's gonna look awesome. Head on over to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, tell them ACEOFCLAY sent you by going to squarespace.com/ACEOFCLAY. This will get you 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Using a thin snake of clay, let's create her eyelid. On the good side of her face, we're going to bring out her cheekbone a little bit, and then on the other side, we're just going to leave it sunken in. Now I'm creating her bottom lip and part of her chin with this pretty large piece of clay, and I'm carving it out with my spoon tool. And I'm adding her top lip and complete upper lip area with another piece of clay and pressing it in with my spoon tool and creating some indents with my medium ball stylus and finishing it off with my explorer tool. For her clock eye, I'm adding a ball of clay into that eye socket, and then I'm going to flatten it out with the back of my spoon tool. And once that's in, we're just going to sort of add this deformed eyelid around everything. Once most of my details are on, I'm just going to use this cone rubber shaper to smooth things out and create little wrinkles. Now let's pop on her ears. Alright, once the face is done, it's time to attach her head with a little bit of Bacon Bond. There we go, now let's blend in her neck. And let's finish everything off with some clay softener to smooth it out. And then once that's baked and cooled down, it's time to attach her arms. Pre-baking is so nice because I'm saving my progress and I can work on these arms without worrying about ruining anything that I already finished. Now I sculpted her hands off camera out of cosplay and we're just attaching them now. If you want a full hand tutorial, check out the video I've got on my channel. look, I made her a little knife. Alright, once she's baked finally, it's time to paint. I'm going to start with her skin everywhere on her face and hands, and then we're going to go in and paint the whites of her one eye. And we want to make her look pretty stressed out and miserable, so we're going to add a lot of black around her eyes. This is also probably a combination of makeup and dark circles. And why not, let's give her brown eyes. And as I continue to paint her, I can't help but notice how millennial coded she is. When this creepypasta came out, this was like the style that many girls were wearing at the time. And I mean, look at this, the fur trimmed jacket or hoodie with the jeans and then the white tank top. Like, it doesn't get much more millennial in 2010 than that. She looks like she's getting ready to post on her Tumblr. Now let's add her tiny little eyebrow. Make it a little angry because she's mad. Now we're going to accent the embedded clock in her other eye with some black and brown washes, and then, you know, wiping off the excess there, touching up some spots, and then painting that clock face white. And then we got to add the little clock hands and numbers. And I just want to accent this nice scar I carved in earlier. Alright, her face is looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and paint up those clothes. Now let's paint her sweatshirt slash hoodie without a hood, this nice army green color, and then get that fur painted too. And let's finish off the sweater with some dry brushing of a lighter green. Now for the jeans. After painting the entire knife black, we're going to paint the blade metallic silver. Now let's dirty up her shoes with a brown wash. And give her her knife. Now for the last step, we're going to give her some real hair, air quotes. I'm using Fabri-Tac to attach it. And this is synthetic brown wool, and we're just gluing it on in sections. And Fabri-Tac, I use this all the time. It is great to bond pretty much anything to polymer clay, whether it's fabric or hair like this or real wool, fake wool, anything. It's a great glue. All right, now we're just adding the hair, and then for the front area, I just added a part with a piece of thread, tying it like so, and then to add to the millennial vibe, let's give her a side part. And because you can't brush this stuff because you'll rip it out, I am sort of styling and brushing it with my Super Poker, which worked very well. And then we're going to trim off any straight pieces and flatten it out so it's not so fluffy. And I almost forgot to glaze her eye and her clock. And let's paint that super smooth ACEOFCLAY base. Stick her on, and say it with me.
And she's done! My sculpture of Clockwork is complete. Let me know how you think I did in the comments. Now, I haven't done a creepypasta since 2020, so this was a nice little refreshing sculpture. Let's revisit these characters again. There's a couple more that I haven't done that are super popular, so if you want to see more of them, let me know in the comments and also tell me which one. I know I get a lot of comments for Smile Dog and the Russian Sleep Experiment and a couple other ones. So yeah, let me know what you want next in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching and being here. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok at ACEOFCLAY. Join my Facebook community, Snakes of Clay, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.